You hear a roar in the distance. According to the townsfolk, it is a very recent phenomenon. Rumor in the village has it that it might be the dragon. The man says the fishing industry is usually thriving in their seaside town, but recently nets have been coming up empty. He mentions that even the fishing harbor to the northwest has been suffering from poor hauls of late. I can feel the dragon's presence. I must inform Lady Winifred, the knight mutters. You feel impatient, determined not to let the order beat you to it. You set foot inside the inn only to be greeted with the great clanging of a bell. Congratulations, the innkeeper shouts above the joyous din. It would appear you and your companions are this inn's 10,000th customers. That means you've won the lifetime of free stays pass. A troubled woman tells you that there has been a rise in thefts lately. She speculates the recession to be the cause. She claims that even the cold medicine she always has on hand has disappeared. She narrows her eyes at the crowd, suspecting there is a thief among them, and offers a reward for the return of the medicine. Your ears perk up at the word reward, and you immediately agree to help expose the dirty thief. You approach a woman sneaking around in a corner of town. Hearing your voice, she turns in surprise. You see a vial of cold medicine clutched in her hands. You explain that the person she stole it from needs it back. The woman begins to explain her own situation with downcast eyes. "My poor little boy is bedridden," she says tearfully. "He needs medicine, but I don't have any money, so I took it." Hearing her tale, you are overcome by sympathy and decide to look the other way. She thanks you and hands you something, apologizing for not having more. Medicine in hand, the woman leaves quickly. Now then, what to tell the other lady? You explain that you are unable to find the thief. Clearly saddened by the news, she explains that she keeps the medicine on hand for her husband, who gets sick quite easily. She laments that she may not have the money to buy more. Unsure if you made the right choice, you return to your journey with a heavy heart. The sign on the door reads, "The Great Nutritionist Oreo." You open the door without knocking. "Is anyone home?" you call. A muscular man emerges from the back. You politely ask if he is the nutritionist. "Indeed, I am the nutritionist Oreo," he answers. He says he has been studying dietetics here for many years. You hand Oreo the extract and explain that your comrade is now bedridden because of it. He stares at the extract for a long time, and then opens the bottle and laps at the liquid inside. "That's poison!" Melanie shouts in alarm. The man insists that he'll be fine with his expertise of nutrition, and insists that knowledge is power, as if that will help somehow. Regardless, it seems he managed to grasp the composition of the poison with that lick, and starts concocting a nutritional supplement to counter it. However, he says he needs a spry fish, which has been difficult to catch lately. He needs a special fish to make the necessary supplement. When he explains that you can catch one in the surrounding sea, Riddis confidently interjects. She shows you a page from her ancient tome, which explains the ecology of the fish in detail. That book comes in handy from time to time, Melanie remarks in surprise. Oreo gasps as if remembering something. He says that his son went out fishing and, with a bit of luck, may have already caught a spry fish. It sounds like his son is fishing on the wharf. You decide to go find him. You see a young man with his line in the water and call out to him. He turns around and flexes, shouting out suddenly, "Power is power." You stare, enchanted by his bulging musculature. There is no doubt in your mind that this is Oreo's son. He asks if you have business with him. Though you are pretty sure of the answer, you ask the young man if he is the nutritionist's son. That I am, he answers. He introduces himself as Bruno and says he is learning to be a nutritionist like his father. You introduce yourself, expressing to him that you are a hero on a journey and require a spry fish to save your ill comrade. His eyes begin to sparkle the moment you utter the word hero, and he becomes engrossed in your tale. More or less grasping the situation, he regrets to inform you that he has not caught any spry fish yet. He says that a monster has settled near their town, and its thundering roars have scared most of the fish away. You know Oreo needs a spry fish to make that supplement. Hearing the despair in your voice, Bruno speaks, his words like an ember in the dark. He tells you that there is a harbor near town where fishermen gather. Perhaps you can find the fish you seek there. You thank him for the information, then head to the harbor with your comrades. Just as you are about to leave, Bruno offers to escort you there. Is it a reward you're after? You are about to ask, but Melanie smacks you on the head before you can voice it and allows him to come along. Bruno looks ecstatic that he was allowed to join your party. When you ask him why, he tells you that his dream is to be an adventurer and has thus been training every day. But his father, famed in the world of nutrition, forced him into following in his footsteps. One desires strength, the other knowledge. Unable to see eye to eye, the two fight nearly every day. What will you ask Bruno? You ask Bruno about his sword arm, saying you are something of a swordsman yourself. Bruno replies that he specializes in hand-to-hand combat, then flexes his bulging biceps as proof. Apparently, he only carries around a sword to look like an adventurer. Curious about his attire, you ask why he does not wear armor. He confessed that he once wished for armor, but deemed it unnecessary after gaining so much muscle. In that moment, you realize something. While his passion for being an adventurer is true, he is dumber than a sack of rocks. The words "birds of a feather flock together" run through your mind, but you quickly chase them away, afraid of what that means for you. You spy a rather large number of monster prints on the ground. A wry smile plays across your lips as you remove the scrap of paper from your pack. You pull from your pack the note a monster dropped near the musty tower. You feel around in the grass for a few moments before your hand strikes something surprisingly firm. The scrap of paper tells no lies. You greedily open the chest. He has been fishing for several days, having decided not to return home empty-handed. He hopes his wife and child back in Shoreland are well. The woman says she has been waiting here for days, worried about her husband, who has yet to return. Lately, a monstrous roar has been disturbing the seas and scaring away all the fish. He sighs, lamenting that his catches have been poor as a result. A rough-tempered piscator stands there, having just returned from fishing. Mars' fate rests upon this man's haul. Terrible, he says, showing you the few fish he's caught. Inside, you see a spry fish, Bruno shouts. You ask him if you can have the spry fish, but he says he won't give it up for free. When you ask how much it will cost, he gives the absurd price of 1,000,000 gold pieces. You're heartless, Ridis pouts. The man is enraged by the rude response. Just then, Bruno prances forth and shouts, "Stop right there!" Your fisherman muscles are simply sublime, he exclaims. He challenges the man to a competition of mussels with the spry fish as the prize. The piscator seems interested and agrees on one condition. If you lose, you must become my servant. This one's all yours, Melanie says, patting you on the shoulder. Then let the carnival of might and muscles begin, Bruno roars, completely fired up. Your puny body is no match for mine, the piscator shouts back, throwing a punch. You're doing great. Looking ripped. His victory sealed, Bruno strikes a glorious pose and shouts out, "Witness the power of power." Defeated, the Piscator hands over the spry fish to Bruno. Bruno extends a hand to the Piscator, who has fallen to his knees. With a serene smile, an unspoken friendship begins to form between the two. Or at least, you hope that's what the prolonged silence between them means. With the spry fish in hand, you head back towards Oreo's clinic. Bruno looks at your group sadly, reluctant for this little adventure to end. You hand the fish to Oreo and ask him to make you the supplement. "Give me a moment," he says, then takes the fish and heads into the back. "It's ready," he says, emerging from his room and handing you a bottle. You hope this will get Mar back on his feet. You need to get back to Unionville on the double, but before that... You wordlessly extend a hand to Bruno. Bruno takes your hand and gives it a firm shake. You can feel the bones in your hands splintering. You just hope Bruno has enough self-restraint not to shatter them completely. You make a mental note never to shake hands with him again, then turn to leave. But Bruno stops you and says he wants to journey with you just a little longer. But Oreo is quick to douse the flames of his desire. "You will stay here and study," he commands. "Then you leave me no choice," Bruno's expression reads as he raises both hands behind his head and squats at hyper speed. "I want to show this power to the world," Bruno proclaims to his father. "You have much to learn, my son," Oreo retorts as he starts sidestepping at breakneck speed. Only the sound of their labored breathing and bodies moving resonates through the otherwise silent room. You can only look on in stunned silence at the enigmatic display. Bruno falls to his knees, panting. "This is my limit." "You have grown, my son," Oreo says, looking no worse for wear. "So are you coming with us or not?" Melanie interjects, ever the blunt one. "Only our muscles know the answer," comes Bruno's cryptic reply. "I don't get it," Ridis remarks frankly. On the condition that he study nutrition upon his return, Bruno is allowed to go with you for just a little while longer. You realize that these two have a very special way of talking that no one else can understand. Hearing yet another roar in the distance, you realize you need to get the supplement to Mar so you can investigate the sound together. Mar lies listlessly upon the bed, looking somewhat haggard. You help Mar sit up. "Drink this, Mar," you say to him gently. He weakly opens his mouth, and you slowly pour the energy concentrate inside. Mar abruptly bolts up and turns his head toward you with a puzzled look. It looks like Mar is all better now. You give Mar a tight hug. Mar mewls softly in discomfort. Overcome with joy, you sob and stroke Mar's head. Melanie and Ridis watch you too with a smile. Bruno is deeply moved to see nutrition bringing a smile to others. With this, you can finally put the happenings of that strange village behind you. You decide to take Bruno back to Shoreland, then continue your search for the dragon. You arrive at Bruno's house. Though he seems to want to adventure a little more, he reluctantly enters his house. You ask Oreo if he knows anything about the monster behind that mighty roar. He says that the creature nests atop a tower not far from town. With that, your next destination is decided. Here, you will part ways with these two, but you owe a great deal to the nutritionist and his son. Bruno looks at you, his eyes begging you to let him come along. What will you say? Let us defeat the dragon together, you say to him. You are sure his power and knowledge will come in handy against the beast. And you realize with a grin, he will be so happy just to come along that he will not want a share of the reward. Bruno is happy he can continue the journey, but Oreo stops him before he can get carried away. You must stay here and study, Oreo says. Bruno explains that the journey thus far has taught him the splendor of nutrition, and he now wishes to travel the world to deepen his knowledge. After hearing his son out, Oreo suddenly removes his glasses. And in the blink of an eye, the flesh of Bruno's cheeks, pectorals, and abdomen recess. And Bruno is lifted off his feet with a dull roar. Your eyes go wide at Oreo's assault, which was too fast for your eyes to catch. Knowledge of nutrition can help save lives, but also strike down enemies, Oreo says softly. Wow, nutrition is incredible, Ridis marvels, not putting too much thought into the events before her. Knowledge is the true power. You tremble, never wanting to make an enemy of Oreo. Though Oreo still deems his son's knowledge insufficient, he tells him to travel the world and surpass him someday. Thank you, Father, Bruno says from the ground, moved to tears by the strength of Oreo's knowledge. So it comes to pass that you journey to the tower with Bruno to find the roaring beast. Yet another colorful character. We have finally arrived at the Tower of Legend. Is everyone ready? You ask with a posed look. Bruno is the first to respond. But this is just an old lighthouse, he remarks, oblivious to your sudden embarrassment. Riddis snorts to herself, seeing you red in the face from jumping to conclusions. Riddis rolls up her sleeves and shouts, "Open Sesame!" You swear you have heard these words somewhere before. You all watch in silence as the door stays shut. You snort to yourself, seeing Riddis red in the face. Bruno exhales deeply, then places both hands on the door. He pushes with all his might, his breath labored, chest heaving, sweat dribbling. And it opens. It seems the magic seal could not protect the door from the physical might of your most stalwart companion. This is the power of power, Bruno pants, but you promptly ignore him and enter the tower. Oh? Congrats. Don't hold back. Don't hold back. Fortune favors the... That was lucky. About the enemy. Good work. About the enemy. Nice work. About the enemy. Footing suddenly crumbles. With no way of saving yourselves, you fall downward. Once more from the bottom. Foolish humans. Did you come here to consign the drops of salvation to oblivion? The monster asks. It sounds like he is saying something important, but you do not understand it in the slightest. Melanie is so absorbed in thinking about the creature's words, she cannot hear you calling her. Ridis has given up on thinking and whistles an offbeat melody to herself. You have made a poor choice. While everyone is distracted, the monster attacks. That was lucky. Excellent. Something glimmers on the floor. Melanie suggests it might be money. You are instantly upon the shining object, picking it up. Melanie asks why you have such a fixation with money. We were poor, so you begin. Then remember being serious isn't in your character. Leaving your past a mystery, you quickly throw aside the shiny piece of glass and move on. Don't hold back. Good work. The ground collapses beneath your feet. You fall together with the rubble. Third time's the charm. Fortune favors the bold. Good work. You lose your footing. You stumble, falling headlong down. It seems like you can return to the floor you were just on, but only once. What will you do? You decide to rescale the tower on your own. Congrats. Oh? Don't hold back. Have you savages no mercy? The dragon's heart and body have already been reduced to naught, it says. It sounds like he is saying something profound, but you do not understand it in the slightest. Melanie considers the words, but cannot seem to concentrate, with the oppressive heat radiating from Bruno's sweltering pose. Bruno silently compares his muscles against the monster's, then grins proudly to himself, the obvious victor. You feel your eye twitch, realizing that your comrades may be the death of you. While everyone is distracted, the monster attacks. Though the battle is over, you cannot stop thinking about what those monsters were saying. Come on, we have to defeat that dragon, Melanie says assuredly. Why are you so obsessed with defeating the dragon? You ask her. She explains that her mother was killed by the dragon. She did not say any more, but her hatred for the beast was clear in her eyes. Don't hold back. Fortune favors the bold. Fortune favors the bold. You hear the roar again. It seems to be coming from the upper levels. Mar mews, as if in response to the creature's growl. Enamored by the adorable noise, you pet Mar on the head. You're obsessed, Melanie remarks snidely, but looks at you two as if wanting to pet Mar too. It sounds like the roaring beast is close. Let's do this. Congrats. Good work. The door before you is shut quite tightly. It appears to have a keyhole. The magical key may be of use here. You insert the magical key into the hole and turn. You hear the lock come undone with a loud clank. The dragon may be just ahead. Now we slay the dragon for riches. On your demotivating words, everyone proceeds through the doorway. Fortune favors the bold. Congrats. That was lucky. That was lucky. That was lucky. Nice work. Don't hold back. You have finally arrived. Before you stands the dragon you have been searching for. More assassins, the dragon sighs weakly. Whether or not the beast is weak, you care not. You muster up your courage and shout, "Prepare yourself, you big lizard." But the dragon's roar sends your bravery flying with the wind. Your legs tremble in fear. But no matter how scared you are, the dragon will not wait. We shall strike you down, you exclaim, slashing out while cheering on your comrades. But at that moment, Vince appears. Its wounds healed, the dragon looks more lively than before. You, too, would be troubled without this dragon, he says, standing in your way. Stop spouting nonsense, the normally collected Melanie shouts. It seems Melanie has lost her composure before her mother's killer. She unleashes a fireball imbued with her hatred. But it is repelled by the dragon's tough scales. And the dragon returns the favor by spewing fire from its mouth. You seem to stand no chance against the revitalized dragon. Melanie looks distressed. Vince climbs atop the beast's back. The flapping of the dragon's wings sends forth one wind blast after the next. Stay out of this, Vince commands, then flies off toward the western sea. You worry for Melanie, who has been burnt badly by the dragon's fire. I can't get up, she whispers weakly. Drink this, Bruno instructs, offering her a small bottle. It will help you regain your strength. Bruno claims he drinks it every day. It is a recipe from his father, that of a custom supplement. Make her drink it already, you cry, your panicked expression urging Bruno to give Melanie the supplement. Melanie has a bad feeling about it, but downs it all in a single gulp. And suddenly regains her strength. At ease with her recovery, you descend the tower. The ocean spreads out before you to the west, whither the dragon went. Return to Shoreland in search of a boat to pursue the dragon. When you return, Oreo approaches. It seems like something has happened to the town. He says a raging wind blew through and destroyed the town. You surmise the flapping of the dragon's wings is to blame. You explain that you need a boat to go after the dragon, and Oreo's look turns grim. Sensing there may be a problem, you quickly make your way to the wharf. You turn the magical key in the lock, and the door opens. You sense a presence behind you and turn to see a guard. He starts talking to you like your old friends. He tells you this is where Queen Nilla used to store the royal treasure, but not anymore. So you see, you won't find anything of value in there, he finishes, and walks away. There's a scrap of paper on the ground where the guard was standing. You pick it up and read it. Changed your mind, have you? Come to buy the legendary weapon after all? He whispers eagerly. You decide not to overthink it and hand over the money. Anyone asks, you didn't buy it here, he says, repeating the last part ad nauseum as he hands it to you. Of course, she was on the black market. I'm closed for now. Don't bother coming back, the weapons merchant says, shooing you away with his hands. The guards have cottoned on to his illegal weapons trade. You shan't be buying from him again. The woman says the violent winds stirred up the sea, causing her precious ship to run aground. But if you can return her vessel to the water, she will gladly give you a ride. Your brows furrow, knowing that there is no way you could move a ship. Beside you, Bruno stretches, warming up his body. After striking a fantastic pose to show off his muscles, he charges straight at the boat. No matter how hard he pushes, though, the boat does not budge. It's pointless, you sigh, turning around when a muscle-bound Melanie stands before you. Now it's working, Bruno exclaims, unsurprised at the sight of Melanie. It appears the custom supplement she drank in the tower bulked her up. Let us combine our power, Bruno entreats Melanie. Her whole body racked with chills, Melanie screams out to the sky. You need Melanie's help to catch the dragon. You call out to her. You turn your earnest eyes to her and say, "Please, lend us your strength." but unable to hold back at the sight of her impressive build, burst into laughter. But in the next instant, you receive a violent punch to the face and are sent flying. You hear your bones creak in a way you've never heard before. But afterward, the two muscle-bound forms work together and return the boat to sea. I will never be a beautiful bride like this, Melanie mutters sadly. You're wrong, Bruno exclaims. Those muscles are the most beautiful thing a bride could ever have. At any rate, you leave the port town and follow the dragon. In exchange for returning her boat to the sea, she says she will give you a ride. Her gaze settles on Melanie. You, my lady, are no ordinary woman, she remarks in awe. Just as you are about to leave, Oreo comes to see you off. It looks like he has something to say. According to him, the dragon flew to the west, where there is an island called Mount Medica. Rumor has it they are actively researching medicine on this island. He thinks he can use their knowledge in his work. Understanding his father's wishes, Bruno nods. Say no more. Mount Medica. Something stirs deep inside your chest, but you blame your imagination and board the boat without another thought. Wasn't that so much fun? Ritis can hardly contain her excitement as she seeks a similar reaction from Melanie. Sure, Melanie croaks, her face a sickly shade of green. The custom supplement has worn off completely. Riddis turns to you and carries on, oblivious. Wasn't that just the greatest? You, however, are a bit worn out, as your mid-voyage teasing of Melanie prompted her to wring you like a rag. Your first order of business should be a sweep of the island to ascertain the dragon's whereabouts. Tread carefully, as danger lies in the unknown. A road stretches west from the docks, suggesting the presence of a house or settlement at the other end.